On this story, we can bring in our chief foreign editor, Rob Parsons. Rob, from listening to John Kerry, it makes you wonder why the Security Council has not been addressing climate change all the time. Will there be any resistance in today's meeting?
Well, it's not the first time that the UN Security Council has addressed the issue of climate change, but it's a long time since the last time. I think it's about 14 years or something. And one of the reasons for that is that many of the members, particularly some of the stronger members, Russia and China, and until just a few weeks ago, the United States as well, under Donald Trump, were opposed to the idea of discussing climate change at the United Nations Security Council. For Russia and China in particular, it was more of an economic issue and just not the place. It wasn't the security issue that we heard John Kerry refer to it as just now. That, I think, has been the biggest obstacle. But that said, it is clear that changes are happening. First of all, just seeing John Kerry speaking in that way shows us that the United States under Joe Biden is a long, long way from the United States under Donald Trump. The US under Joe Biden is right back on board on climate change. As we know, the US has signed back onto the Paris Climate Change Accords and will be attending Glasgow for the COP26 summit in November this year. Those are two very big changes. Also very important is the fact that last year, 2020, China committed to zero carbon emissions by 2060. That is a colossal change for the world. Having China on board, one of the world's biggest emitters, about 28% of carbon emissions coming from China, that is a big game changer. There are problems though. Russia still not convinced. And although Boris Johnson will be making the argument that the UN Security Council is tasked with confronting the gravest threats to global peace and security, and that's precisely what climate change is. It could just be a step too far for Russia at this stage. I don't expect anything major to come out of this meeting, this summit today, but it is a stepping stone.
And Rob, we know that climate change is a pressing issue. So how does the UN Security Council keep up momentum, if you will?
Well, I mean, it's not just for the UN Security Council, of course, to keep up momentum. It's for all the major states. And this is important, I think. Partly this is political for Boris Johnson today. The United Kingdom, for the first time in many years, has got the rotating presidency. I think it was 1992 the last time. This is an opportunity for Boris Johnson, in particular, to show his commitment to the stances adopted by Joe Biden. Boris Johnson accused of getting too cozy with Donald Trump in the past. This is an opportunity for him to show that Britain is right on board where the US is going on climate change. So it's in a sense it's keeping that momentum going, making sure that the commitments that were made in Paris in 2015 are picked up on later in this year at the Glasgow COP26 climate change conference summit, and also at the G7 summit in June, which is also going to be chaired by the United Kingdom and Boris Johnson this year. I think the idea is to get the ball really rolling so that commitment that was made in 2015 to limiting the global warming to 2 degrees centigrade above pre-industrial levels will be met, if not bettered, in commitments made at Glasgow later this year. That, I think, seems to be the idea. And the issue, obviously, of security. The problems of desertification, of migration, access to water. We see it now with, this potential conflict between Egypt and Ethiopia and Sudan over control of the Nile waters. This is a very serious issue, becoming more and more pressing with every day.
Indeed. Rob, thank you very much for that. Rob Parsons reporting that.